But of course, why not?
Hello.
It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you. I put them in my bag.
Listen, sorry we couldn't offer you any hot snacks.
My wife usually makes them, but she's not allowed to prepare food today. It's Karva Chauth, you see.
Yeah.
What's that?
Karva Chauth is a special day on which the women honor their husbands by fasting from sunrise to sunset.
Yeah. My mum hasn't had anything to eat all day.
That's how devoted she is to me. The more strictly the woman sticks to her fast, the more devotion she shows for her husband.
I don't believe in obeying man.
Oh, it's a very ancient tradition in our family.
So what?
Yeah, but the best part is, luckily, we don't have to fast because we're men.
George?
Hello.
It's you!
Hello.
Hello, my darling.
It's been lifetimes.
Oh, it has. Oh, this is my daughter-in-law. So, darling, what have you come as today?
A sort of Hindi businessman on acid.
It's gorgeous. It's like Diwali's happened on your face. It's beautiful.
Marguerite, is that cheese on your scarf?
No, that is the traditional brooch of Karva Chauth. Yes, it's a symbol of...
Mozzarella.
Yes, it does look like mozzarella, ironically, but... Sanjeev, you fool! You've just eaten the traditional brooch of fasting. It's a very bad omen.
No, it's
the harvest will probably...
This is ridiculous.
Done.
There you go, girl. Just eat it all.
Marguerite, you're eating.
I'm tired of pretending every year.
I mean, you pretend every year.
The revolution's here, sister,
And we
because
love
I'm
it.
a woman.
The 80s threw up several Georges, including George Bush Sr. and George from Rainbow. But I think tonight we've got the best George of the lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Boy George!
Can I just complain about the tea? This is
go
the
on then.
worst cup of tea I've ever tasted in my life.
He made it. I've got to say, let me dive in. You're right on the very edge of popular culture. You know, you like to move with the times, you like to keep working. Why don't you just live off the culture club royalties and stay in bed? Because that's what I'd do.
Because I bore easily.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it that you just you're too interested in too many things and stuff?
Well, I don't get played on the radio in England because I'm considered past it.
Oh, no, never.
So, you know, one has to find new things to do.
Yeah.
Because if you rely on music to make a living,
Yeah.
for me, I'd end up in a tin hut. So I've had to kind of, you know, step into other areas, which is good, you know, which means I don't rely on Radio 1 to, you know, give me a living.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can do that great thing and I can slag them off.
George, sweetheart, just turn around a bit. I love the back of your head, but the front bit is nicer. Now, you know, you are multi-talented, darling. You're a singer, songwriter, DJ, but you know what I love best about you? You're such a bitch, aren't you? Have you always been such a cheeky monkey?
I do have the problem of saying what I think. Sometimes it comes out the wrong way. When I say that Robbie Williams is talentless, I'm actually trying to help him.
Oh, come on, let's play the celebrity clay pigeon shooting. We love this game.
Oh, yeah.
So what happens, George, is that we throw a celebrity up in the air and you just shoot them down with a few cheeky monkey comments.
I'll do my best.
OK. All right, ready? Ready, everyone?
Yes.
OK, pull.
Simon Le Bon.
Adore him, love all his work.
Pull.
Liberty X.
Who?
All right, pull.
George Michael.
I won't hear a kind word said about him.
Pull.
Uncle Devinder.
Love him.
Yeah, well, obviously, we ran out of steam on that one. I think we're very, very similar, right? Because I like pushing back the boundaries as well. You know, I'm very edgy. The show's very edgy. I mean, for instance, bum. Sanjeev. Sorry.
George, darling, you know when I first really began to worship you is when I saw you on top of this pop singing, Do You Want to Hurt Me? What a debut. There you were with your long hair in your salwar kameez, and I thought, at last, a pop star who's modelled himself on an old Indian woman. Was that your your inspiration?
I
the
think your
template?
culture is responsible for a lot of my looks.
Really?
Well, tonight, certainly. It's,
You've only got yourselves to blame.
Mum.
George, have you been to India?
Twice.
Really?
Why?
Sanjeev.
To get some jewellery.
Oh, it's a good reason, isn't it, really?
No, I think that, you know, I've always had a kind of fascination with India because of the kind of kitschness and the colour. I like the smell of the food as well.
But
Yeah.
you're vegetarian, aren't you?
Exactly.
That's quite good in India.
It is very, very, very useful.
No, because I remember, you know, when I've gone to India, the chickens there, they look really kind of like thin and amazing. You want to feed them, you don't want to eat them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think with chickens, you know, it's like... Have you ever met a calm chicken?
Not socially. I mean, I don't know, under what context are we talking
I
here?
buy into this idea that if you eat an animal, you're kind of absorbing everything about that animal. Chickens eat their own poo. They are not particularly calm creatures. Have you ever seen a chicken in the lotus position? No.
This is true.
But they don't have knees, do they?
I've never bothered looking.
That's real. Now, I want to ask about your career, because your latest project is Taboo,
Yeah.
right? Which is a musical, which is on at the moment in London's
Yes.
fashionable West End. Is it any good?
Well, we've just been awarded 4 Tony Awards, so it might be quite good.
That's quite good, isn't it?
That's
Tony
very
Awards is quite a lot.
good.
Yeah.
I was going to ask your advice because this year the Wembley Asian Pensioners Society annual theatre trip is going to be to a musical. So what can you offer us that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang can't?
A sense of humour.
Yes. What else is in your show? I hope there's nothing too exciting like flashing lights because my friend Asha has a very nervous bladder and you don't want her puddling up your front row, do you?
It's not a kind of Mamma Mia type of show.
No.
So it's, a lot of people come thinking they're going to hear all the Culture Club songs. So you do get the odd sort of customer complaining. It is a new score. And it really isn't about Culture Club. It's more about how I got to be part of Culture Club.
Now, you have written an excellent autobiography,
Yeah.
of course, fantastic, really juicy stuff. And I was talking to somebody who'd read it, and they, and they were telling me... And they were telling me that you grew up in quite a rough part of London, in a big Irish family, 5 brothers,
Yes.
right?
4 brothers.
4 brothers, 4
one
brothers.
sister.
Oh, right, 4 brothers. They're all builders.
Yeah.
They're all builders, right? And they all wanted to fight and drink and chase skirt, and there were you. You know, no interest in the construction business whatsoever.
No. Although I did do the odd conversion.
Listen,
I mean, you know, my father did try to kind of get me involved in the sort of, you know, building industry, but I personally prefer to paint and decorate myself.
Yes.
I'm a living metaphor.
Metaphor...
Metaphor.
Oh, sorry, that's the end of the sentence. Now, if I can touch briefly upon your sexuality, because it can be a sensitive subject.
Nonsense, and
For who?
We're very progressive in this house.
Yes.
We had Graham Norton on the show. The gay thing worked very well for him, didn't it?
Yes. It's very fashionable to be gay.
Very fashionable to be Asian as well.
If only someone could combine the two. That's it.
We're
Don't
still
look at me.
waiting, Sanjeev. You know, statistically, at least 1 in 5 people is gay, so that means somebody amongst us is. Oh, it's you, George! George! OK,
I
that's sorted
resemble
that
that
out.
remark.
As you can see, Mr. George, we're very advanced on sexuality. Why don't you tell us the story of when you came out of the cupboard?
It's called a closet.
Oh, he was translating it into the Hindi and then back into the English.
Yes.
OK.
That's
Sorry. I came out at 15, and my parents were very cool about it. You know, they kind of knew.
Did they? But you knew at quite a young age then, at 15, didn't you?
Well, it's one of those things that you are told by other people. It's not that you actually know what you are, it's that other kids poke you and say, puff, queer, don't choose you for the football team.
I mean, it's kind of... I mean, coming out of the cupboard in India is...
It's very difficult.
isn't it? It's
Yes.
Yes, because it's still illegal.
Oh, yes.
to come out of the cupboard.
Cupboard, yes.
Even to be in the cupboard.
Well, either being in the cupboard or just... The cupboard area
Yes.
is a minefield.
In fact, you know, George, there's 1 billion people in India, so you're better off staying in the cupboard. There's more room.
What I found in India is that most people who were gay became religious. Because that's a great way to avoid sex.
Ah.
You know, if you renounce sex
Yeah.
and the material world,
Yeah.
then you never have to face that issue. But when I was in Bombay, I saw quite a few saffron Marys.
You know, George, darling, I was thinking it must have been quite hard for you to come out as a gay pop star in the 80s. I think you paved the way for a lot of other people. I mean, you must look at Will Young and think, I did that, I am responsible for that. Does it make you feel very proud, darling?
I look at Will Young and I think, yeah, he's an out gay man singing about a woman. What woman? Did she have a beard?
There's nothing wrong with beards on women.
Now, I must ask you this. I've always been dying to ask you this. I mean, if I were to ask you one thing that summed up the 80s for you, what would it be?
That's a difficult one.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I think I hate... I think at the time I hated every other band. So I think probably kind of bitterness and that sort of competitive spirit, you know, we always hated every other band.
It's not what I was looking for.
OK, what were you
Okay.
looking for? Margaret Thatcher?
Oh, no. I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a little clue. A tiny little clue, OK? A lot of people getting together to do a charity song.
Oh... OK. Feed Bob Geldof.
Well, Band-Aid is what I was trying to get.
Oh, we loved that record, didn't we? Your bit on it, you outshine everybody, even Simon Le Bon. There won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The greatest
gift you get this year is life.
Bow down, Mr. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna.
That's the one. Don't you remember one and only? Boy, girl.
I mean, at least tell me you respected Coverchot when Papaji was alive.
Of course I did, beta. When your father was alive, I remember it as a very sacred day. Testing times.
Once you lose tradition, you're on the slippery slope, isn't it, Mr. George?
No, but surely respect has to be earned, doesn't it, George?
I agree.
Exactly. Why should a woman have to prove herself worthy of a man? Why shouldn't it be the other way round? George thinks it should be the other way round.
I mean, he didn't say anything.
His hat moved. Anyway, George, I agree with you. You've hit the nail on the head. It should be the men who are doing the fasting.
Exactly.
Thanks, George. Thanks a lot.
You think I can't fast, Mr. George? Well, I can. From now on, Sanjeev and I are fasting.
What?
Marjorie, get the door.
Did it yourself.
Whitfield. Miss Whitfield.
Hello. I'm Ashwin Kumar. How do you do?
Oh.
I'm the producer.
Oh, I see.
This is my son, Sanjeev.
The host.
Hello, Sanjeev.
Marjorie, June Whitfield is here. Marjorie!
I'll go and get them.
Jude, may I say, it's so nice to have someone shorter than me on the show. They're always booking tall people.
Hello, hello, hello. Ah!
George.
I love the jacket. It's
I thought it
beautiful.
was the Phantom. Well, very nice to see you
Thank you very
all.
much.
I am sorry about the delay earlier. We thought we could leave the men to look after you, but apparently not.
We were doing.
They did very well.
Thank you very much, June. I was just telling how small she was. What? But no, there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with being big like George. You're not too small, June. I was just saying that you're both the right heights for yourselves. I've been feeling a bit faint. I haven't eaten for.
Almost a minute and a half now.
Yeah. I'll go and do your intro. Thank you very much. Boy George is still with us. Thank you very much. Now, a comedy legend who has worked with all the great comedy legend greats over the last 50 years. Well, she will have after tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's June Whitfield.
Cheers, George. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, June. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for being
very
here.
much.
It's great to have you on. You haven't got anything to eat on you, have you, by the way?
I'm sorry.
That's all right, it's fine.
I would have smuggled something in if I'd known.
That's very kind of you. It's all right. Now, you've been at the heart of our business for over 50 years.
And may I say, Miss Whitfield, you are as ravishing now as you were when you first started.
Oh, what a nice man your father
So
is.
radiant, so lovely.
Ashwin, I'm sitting right here.
Marguerite, I'm just putting our guest at ease. I said the same thing to Robson Green.
I'm very flattered, thank you.
Pleasure.
So was Robson Green. Now, you speak quite well.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you. So do you.
Oh, thank you very much.
So do you. Yes.
But you're from Streatham,
I was born in
which is
Streatham.
quite common. So how come...
Oh, not when I was there. No.
Really?
No.
Well, how did you talk when you were there, then?
Almost, well, as I talk now, except my elocution teacher worked on my A's. Because I think I used to say, sai, instead of say. You'll see.
Oh, I see.
Oh, it's very
Can you do a whole
isn't it?
sentence in the old Cockney-fied thing?
Streatham's not Cockney, for God's sake. Streatham's a suburb. You know, it's just you were very loose with our vowels and our consonants and things like that.
So-
But it's not Cockney. It's not Cockney.
So, can you do it?
What?
So I'm joking, really.
No, I can't do it now no more.
That was good, though.
You are amazing with accents. In fact, you have a reputation for being very good with voices. Didn't you used to do Margaret Thatcher?
Oh, how funny you should remember that.
It's just a little bit scary.
Never mind loose vowels. You've loosened my bowels. Daddy.
Oh, dear.
George, can you do any impressions?
No, I leave an impression.
Very good. Very good.
He's so clever.
He's very clever.
He is.
I've got one. That will be $3.50, please.
Who the heck was that?
You get it, Uncle Devinder.
It's a vague relative.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Honestly, it's
see.
yeah, please don't worry
our
yourself.
accountant, yes.
Oh, well.
And cab driver and plumber and...
Anyway, now you, as I said, you've been in the business for ages. Let's talk showbiz.
Oh, go on then.
All right. Now, you once said the best advice you got was never upset the comic.
Oh, yes. You got
Well,
that
that's-
from sitting
sorry.
on Wilfred Pickles, didn't you?
Now, Wilfred...
Sorry,
oh,
who was Wilfred Pickles?
Oh, darling, before your time.
Oh.
Yes, anybody in the audience remember Wilfred Pickles? Have a go.
No, but why did you sit on him?
But it was in a play that we were doing.
Oh, I see.
And my character was called Janie Jenkins, and there was an evacuee, right? I was engaged to him and was permanently saying, I've got his ring. And the evacuee... Steady.
Steady, George.
Steady, George.
I'm still using
On the finger. One has to be so careful with the language nowadays. Yeah. And he fell in love with the evacuee, and I was at one point lying across his lap, sort of saying, oh, it's nice to have you back and all that. And I thought I gave a wonderful performance. I was just out of drama school, and I thought I'd done terribly well until I felt this knee in my back saying, wait for the laugh, wait for the laugh. I thought, oh, does one wait for a laugh?
Oh,
You know.
well, we're waiting forever on this show with Sandra.
That's kind of... don't upset the comic. Might be something you lot might want to sort of take some heed of. All right. So, the great Pickles was one of the many comic geniuses you've worked with.
Yeah.
Now, you've probably been asked this a million times.
Go on.
But who, in your opinion, was the most overrated?
Ooh.
Come on,
Me,
June.
I should think.
Oh, come on. Dish the dirt. Go on.
Who was overrated?
Yeah.
Well, nobody's overrated. If they get that far, they must have something, mustn't they?
Well, you see, you're being very nice. My mission tonight is to uncover the real June Whitfield.
Steady.
Oh. The vicious June Whitfield, who tramples over her fellow actors in order to dominate British comedy. If that's all right with you.
Well, she's probably there somewhere.
Ah, all right.
But-
Well, all right, I'm going to do my best to find her. I'll tell you what, let's do the clay pigeon shoot.
Oh, the
We did with
celebrity
George,
clay
that was great.
pigeon, OK,
We
OK.
did this with George, it
Oh,
was really
gosh.
good. OK, so I say a name and you say something bitchy about them. OK?
Very
Ready?
good.
And it's like a clay pigeon thing. OK, ready? And pull.
Lovely Harry Seacombe.
Oh, how can you say anything possibly bad about Harry Seacombe?
I agree with you.
I mean, he was a dream.
He was lovely.
OK, all right, pull.
Wonderful Arthur Askey.
Gorgeous.
He's lovely. I
Absolutely.
agree with you.
You see?
Lovely man. I
Little
like
man, little gorgeous, funny man.
Funny man.
You're not being very good at this, June.
Well,
It's kind of like-
I'm no good at it, you see, because I admired them all. It's no good saying...
Well, come on. At some point in your career, you
Yes.
must have looked across at some performer and thought, you are a complete idiot.
Don't worry, June, we're thinking the same as you.
No, I mean, I've watched the Kumars for some time now, and I wouldn't say you're a complete idiot. I mean, your family think you are.
I think a little kind of like, little bite-sized bit of the real June Whitfield there. I'm not quite sure.
George, have you ever really admired somebody you've worked with? Actually, George, have you got anything nice to say about anybody you've ever worked with?
Meanwhile, back at the Sanjeev and June show. By the way, I know that you always pick up anecdotes, from some of the comedy greats that you've worked with. So
And forget them.
Well, that's why I thought I'd just give you this.
And forget them. Oh,
well, that's why I got
don't.
a pen there. If I do say something funny,
I'll write it down.
feel free to write it down.
Right.
Yeah. I'll wait until
Yes,
you've written
I'm
it
ready.
down. It's kind
Right.
of like, well, I can't think of anything right now, but I mean, in the course of events, I might just come out with a bit of a gem. All right.
I'm sure you will.
Oh, that's for you. Well, you know, don't you?
June, I liked you best in Terry and June.
Thank you very much.
I remember that one when Terry overheard something and got the wrong end of the stick. Do you remember that one?
Very often, I should think. Yes, permanently. Yeah, and my character, I mean, I can't believe that anyone was as saintly as my character was. I mean, she just, took everything from him and knew it was all going to go wrong anyway.
But I would have said you weren't saintly, you were strong, actually, and that's kind of been your speciality. You've played a lot of strong women in strong families, like the Glums and Terry and June.
Yes,
and
that's
even
right,
Ab
that's
Fab.
right.
I like that. I really think that women are the heart of the family, don't you, June?
Of course they are, Amy. And when will men realise
Oh,
it?
I don't know,
I
June.
don't.
Oh.
Sorry.
No. It's, I just thought of something. If women be the heart of the family, what organ be the men? So do you want to write that? Organ...
The brain.
What?
What organ are the men? The brain.
No, it's the appendix, because they're small, grumbling and expendable, isn't it?
That's a good one. Yes. Expendable.
Thank you.
Very good.
She's writing it down.
Appendix.
Did you see that?
Yes. Apart pass it on to Roy Hudd. He'll like that. Yes.
But you know, Joan, it just struck me, darling, as we were having this conversation, that you've spent your entire career making a lot of men look funny, which is very similar to what I do on this show. And it can make you a bit bitter unless you're careful. And you know how I've avoided that? I've got in touch with my inner bitch.
I'm very glad to hear
It's
it.
very important, girlfriend.
Yes.
You've got to try it.
Yes.
We're going to do a
yes.
bitch exercise together. Just imagine, for me, take my hand, girlfriend, and try this. A traffic warden is coming up to you. He's
Yes.
just clamped you for no reason. He's laughing
Yes.
in your face. What do you say to him?
I don't think I can repeat it on television. But the second word would be off.
Okay.
Now we're getting to
we're
the
getting
real
there,
Joan
aren't we?
Whitfield.
Now, June, OK, it's, what about with someone, you know, in a higher position than a traffic... Not that traffic warden's a low... Well, it is, compared to me. But I'm going to provoke you.
Yes.
Right? And I want you to come back at me with something, OK?
see.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
OK. OK, June, you're a real stinker.
Probably.
No, Joan,
OK, look,
no,
George
no.
will be good at this. OK, me and you do it, George, OK? Right. Come on. We can banter. You know I can give as good as I can get.
So I hear.
Mate, I was feeling weak anyway because of the hunger. You didn't have to go below the belt. Now, I've got to ask, before you go,
Yes.
June, out of all the great entertainers that you've worked with, who would you say has impressed you the most?
You're going to laugh.
Oh, eh?
Noel Coward.
Oh, yes.
No, I didn't know.
No, wonderful, man.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I think that's where my vote would go.
Well, what about the more recent crop?
Has to be Jennifer Saunders.
Oh,
doesn't it?
Jennifer Saunders, I love her. She's very brilliant.
What about some of the more Asian comedians that you've worked with?
Well, there's one called Sanjeev.
Thank you very much. That's me, isn't it? That's me.
That's you.
That's right, and that's
you.
on tape now forever. Thanks very much, June Whitfield. Bye, George.
Gandhi used to fast. I might make this a new tradition. It's certainly a good lesson for the boy.
Oh, yes, self-discipline. That is the difference between a boy and a man. You know, the problem with our culture is we just don't allow our boys to grow up.